Hello and welcome to the Luxury Guy, your online guide to luxury goods. In this segment here, I hope to go through some of the telltale signs of verifying a real Rolex from a fake Rolex. Unfortunately, one of the bad points of being so successful like Rolex is that the brand is often faked. To be honest with you, one of the negatives of owning a Rolex is that many people, once they see your watch, will say, "Is that real?" And unfortunately, that is something which you're going to have to learn to live with. In deciding whether a watch is real or fake, I've put together a 5-point plan to evaluate a piece. Now, the first point is to look at the serial number and model number of the piece. Now, Rolex, in their Oyster range of pieces, has the serial number and model number between the lugs on the 6 position and the 12 position. So that's the first thing you should check. Now, in order to do that, you are going to have to remove the bracelet. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, it's possibly not a bad idea to get a watchmaker to remove it for you. I actually just remove it with a simple paper clip. On the gold models, however, you'll probably want to be a little bit more careful, because if you're using a little screwdriver, a jeweler's screwdriver, you want to be careful not to scratch the area where the spring bar goes into the watch there. The second point on working out whether a piece is real or not is to do with the movement itself. Now, for this, you're going to have to get a watchmaker to open the case for you. Once the case is opened, you can clearly see the movement. The watchmaker himself would also be a very good person to ask, "Hey, does this look real? Does it look right?" The important thing here is to look at the reference number of the movement and to see whether that movement reference number is in line with that piece. For example, the ladies' range of Datejust watches, they didn't actually get the quick set movement until the sapphire version came out. So if I was looking at a mid-70s ladies two-tone Datejust and it had a quick set movement in it, I'd be very alarmed, because the quick set movement only came out when the model changed over to the sapphire glassed version there. So that's one important criteria there. The third point when determining whether a piece is legitimate or not is to look at the gold parts on it. Now, this is if you're looking at a two-tone or a solid gold piece, because on the Oyster range, I should just rephrase that. Rolex did have a couple of gold-plated pieces, but they were in the 50s and early 60s. From sort of the late 60s, 70s, 80s, whenever Rolex has used gold in the piece, that gold has been solid gold. It is not plated at all. So the best thing to look at if you're looking at a second-hand piece, which is a two-tone or a solid gold piece, is there brassing underneath it. What I mean is, can you find a place where the gold has been scratched or rubbed? Because on the real piece, it may still be scratched, but underneath it there is no base metal because it's solid gold. The fourth area to determine whether a piece is real or not is the dial itself. Now, just be aware, the only proviso to this is that sometimes dials are redone. That means, for whatever reason, the dial has been taken out and repainted. However, assuming the dial hasn't been repainted, the dial should be absolutely perfect. The dial may be aged, but the precision of the printing should be spot on. Patina on the dial is often a good sign because I'm yet to see any fakes that have a convincing patina to them. So if they have a bit of patina, that tends to legitimize the piece. The fifth and final point is to actually look at the piece itself. I remember looking at a Explorer 1. It was a model 14270, and as soon as I examined it, it looked pretty good. I looked at the back. Now the Explorer 1 is an all-steel model. When I looked at the back, it had a stamp on the case which said 18K. Now that's just not possible. That particular model of Explorer 1 only ever came in steel, and for it to have a gold mark there, that immediately sent off alarm bells. The other telltale sign is actually on the bracelet shears themselves, because I have seen on many fake bracelets, if you have a two-tone watch, the model number will end in -14 for 14 carat or -18 for 18 carat. But how could it possibly have a -18 bracelet when the bracelet is all steel? Obviously, when they were faking a Datejust, they've used the same part when they've made fake Explorer 1s. So that's another telltale sign. At the end of the day, telling a real Rolex from a fake Rolex can be difficult. The only 100% way to know is to have a watchmaker or Rolex have a look at the piece. Now that's probably your only 100% way to know. However, after you've dealt with a few Rolexes, you've handled a few Rolexes, you should have a pretty good guide as to what's real and what is fake. Thanks very much, and I hope you've enjoyed this clip. Thank you.